220 Monticello Road, October 15th, 2020. I remember everything about this property, especially this big tree, which I've been looking at a lot lately because I've been delivering chip loads out this way and been thinking about it for the last week. So today's the first day I got to stop and look at it. That's great. I'm going to show you crane guys and owner, well, Mr. Beetle, I need to know if you have contact for these neighbors, because if crane guys come here and look at this spot, this is the only place they can set up. There's high-powered wires over there, but they're pretty far away. And of course the tenants would have to park elsewhere for the day, but we could set the chipper up downhill or something like that, or we could use the crane to put the pieces down there and then chip uphill, whatever. We got options there. But why am I bringing up a crane? Because whether we want to remove this part or both parts, something has to be done with this part. So I'm gonna have to lay out the numbers for you both ways, and I'll show you why. I mean, it's pretty clear. Last year I made the video I said watch this side. Well, this is the last time that's gonna leaf out, and you'll notice this whole limb is dead. That's a very large over high-powered wires limb, or close to over it. I don't know if they're actually over it. So anyway, lots of dead material there, and there it is, the fungus. I don't know if that was present last year. Maybe, I didn't look back in the video. Doesn't matter, because this whole thing is fungus laden and dying. So the reason it's not an easy choice is because these might be two trees that were just next to each other that got smashed up together, or it might be the same tree. Generally speaking, I wouldn't, because see, from this side, it kind of looks like two trees. And if it's two trees, I'm not saying it's safe, because I can't say that. But if we remove half of it, and the other half has lots of dead wood going on already anyway. I'm not saying that it's, you know, a trash tree and that we should take it out, but I am saying that you might be revisiting this in a few years. I don't know. There's no telling. There's no fungus on that side. There's some dieback, but it's clearly alive compared to the other half of the tree. So it's challenging, and there's no clear answer here. Of course, it's going to be more to take it out all together rather than one half. But again, you might have to just revisit it in a few years. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. There's no telling. So, but anyway, we would be doing that, the crane work for this one day. And depending on how much we're doing, one half or the other half, or the whole thing, I mean, we would be likely, if we did one half, we'd likely get everything cleaned up in one day. If we did the whole thing, we'd put the whole thing down one day, clean up the chippables, put the logs over here because they're huge, and then come back the next day to pick them up with minimal tenant disturbance. But anyway, yeah, that about gets the crane part out of the way. Going around the house, the only other things that I saw of note is all this, you know, it's been less than a year, I guess, since we've been here. I think it was January or something. I don't know. But anyway, it's not been that long. Not much has changed. I may have mentioned this one before. I may not have. This tree down here in the center of the frame, it's hard to see though from here. It's a white oak. It's dead. I don't know if it's yours. I don't know where the property lines are. So, but here's the power line, and the power line runs here, and there's the dead oak. So it's behind the power lines by at least 20 feet, give or take. That tree's entirely dead. So we could either find out whose property, if it's your property, or if it's the right of way of Duke, whatever. Duke might be able to help us out and just take it down. They might just put it in a pile. That's all I'm proposing to do anyway. If they don't want to do it, or they can't do it, we'll do it. But we have like zero access back here. It would just be an inordinate, not inordinate, but it's much more expensive to get this out of here than it is to just simply cut it down and put it in a pile underneath where it is. And this is what you need for Duke, are these numbers on the pole. So if in fact you get in touch with them, 65K and BM45, that's what they need to know. It's like the nearest pole, and you can show them this video for that tree. Because it's definitely dead. It needs to come down before it falls on the wire. It could. Otherwise, everything else that looked around here is fine. And I'm just gonna be sending this video to Dover Crane. They can look at this tree, figure out about what crane we'll need for half of it or the whole thing. And then you do need to touch base with the neighbor, because we would be straddling that space, blocking the mailboxes for, no, actually we wouldn't be. I'm just blocking the mailboxes. they'd be parking in the gravel here, like I pointed out, next to this bear with outriggers set up in the grass and under some limbs there, but I think that we could probably maneuver around them and go over this house power wire and do the whole thing from here, but it might be a big crane. Thanks.